Hello everybody. I'm going to show you the most populated cities in Florida, using no site or sources, according to 2014 estimates inhabitants by metropolitan areas. Florida is the third most populous state and the eighth most densely populated one in the United States of America. Tallahassee is the capital of the state and Jacksonville is the largest city of Florida. So, without further delay, let's start. The 20th most populated metropolitan area is Palm Coast, with more than 102,000 inhabitants. The 19th most populated one is Sebastian Vero Beach, with more than 144,000 inhabitants. The 18th most populated one is Punta Gorda, with more than 168,000 inhabitants. The 17th most populated one is Panama City Lynn Haven, with more than 194,000 inhabitants. The 16th most populated one is Crestview Fort Walton Beach Destin, with more than 258,000 inhabitants. The 15th most populated one is Gainesville, with more than 273,000 inhabitants. The 14th most populated one is Naples Marco Island, with more than 348,000 inhabitants. The 13th most populated one is Ocala, with more than 339,000 inhabitants. It's believed that Ocala metropolitan area could have more people than Naples Marco Island. The 12th most populated one is Tallahassee, with more than 500,000 inhabitants. The 11th most populated one is Port St. Lucie, with more than 444,000 inhabitants. It's believed that Port St. Lucie metropolitan area could have more people than Tallahassee. The 10th most populated one is Pensacola Ferry Base Brent, with more than 474,000 inhabitants. It's believed that Pensacola Ferry Base Brent metropolitan area could have more people than Tallahassee. The 9th most populated one is Deltona Daytona Beach Ormond Beach, with more than 609,000 inhabitants. The 8th most populated one is Palm Bay Melbourne Titusville, with more than 556,000 inhabitants. It's believed that Palm Bay Melbourne Titusville metropolitan area could have more people than Deltona Daytona Beach Ormond Beach. The 7th most populated one is Lakeland Winter Haven, with more than 634,000 inhabitants. The 6th most populated one is Cape Coral Fort Myers, with more than 679,000 inhabitants. The 5th most populated one is North Port Bradenton Sarasota, with more than 748,000 inhabitants. The 4th most populated one is Jacksonville, with more than 1,419,000 inhabitants. The 3rd most populated one is Orlando Kissimmee Sanford, with more than 2,321,000 inhabitants. The 2nd most populated one is Tampa St. Petersburg Clearwater, with more than 2,921,000 inhabitants. And finally, the most populated metropolitan area of the state of Florida is Miami-Fort Lauderdale-West Palm Beach metropolitan area, with more than 5,929,000 inhabitants. So, it was all I had to say. Thanks for your attention and see you soon. Don't forget subscribe.